Is hip hop divided? What do y'all think? We got Punch from TDE. He says the divide in hip hop is insane. It's like two different ideologies. The battle, he's referencing Kendrick versus Drake, may have been the catalyst, but I feel like it's been bubbling for a while. No matter what the topic is, you can tell clearly who falls on what side. Punch goes on to say that depending on which side was taken in the battle, that same group of people like the same sports star, same politician, same stance on whatever issue, etc. It's like a social experiment. I don't know what Punch is trying to say here. Punch has this way of like tweeting things, trying to get a message across, but not really saying exactly what he means. It's like a cryptic way of tweeting. Like here he says, all right, back to the music. I'm done talking about rumors and correcting narratives. But then he goes, or I might embrace it and play all the way into it. I'm human. Like, I don't like I think Punch a lot of times is trolling. So I'm not even sure if we are supposed to take what he says seriously, but let's just say he's being for real. Like this is his actual thought. What is he trying to say right here? Is he like generalizing, yo, a Drake fan is like this, a Kendrick fan is like this? Like, is he critiquing because he's clearly talking about the battle, right? So it's not me just pontificating like, oh, I'm just making everything about Kendrick versus Drake. No, he confirms that he's talking about the battle. I don't know if this is a critique on Drake fans or if this is a critique on Kendrick fans or both. Depending on which side was taken in the battle, the same group of people like the same sports star, same politician, and same stance on whatever issue. I don't know this to be true. I'm not fully sure even what he's trying to say, so it's kind of hard for me to really analyze this. Because it's like he's saying something, like it's like he wants to say something, but he's like talking around it. Like, are you saying that Drake fans are Trump supporters? Are you saying Kendrick fans are Trump supporters? The same sports star, are you saying like, yo, Drake fans like Caitlin Clark because they're racist? Or are you saying like Kendrick fans like Caitlin Clark because they're like, what are you trying to say? And shout out to Caitlin Clark, Hooper. So regardless of the point he's actually trying to make, the point that's coming out is Kendrick's side and Drake's side, they align on the same stance on issues. Like they're on polar opposites. So Kendrick fans will have the same stances, Drake fans will have the same stances on issues, which I 100% disagree with. I don't think that's true at all. I think if Kendrick Lamar spoke about his politics, a lot of people would be shocked and offended. And I think this is the same for a lot of Black celebrities. Like Black Americans in general, we are not like super extra liberal like a lot of people think. You ask a Black person, what do you think about immigration? What do you think about the Second Amendment? What do you think about borders, open borders? What do you think about Marxism? You're going to have some mixed answers. And you're going to quickly learn that the Black community in America is a lot more conservative than what you believe. So the idea that people are aligning around Kendrick, all have the same stance on political issues and, you know, sports and stuff, I think this is just a very silly thing to say. But to shoot Punch some bail, I think where he is hitting correctly is like the Stanbases. And I can only speak on the Kendrick side because I don't know what goes on in OVO land. Like, I just don't know what they're doing over there. There's a couple people on Twitter that I follow who are like super Drake fans, but I'm not like in those communities. But I can tell you from the Kendrick side, yes, post-battle, which is what Punch is talking about, you have to align on, and this is not Kendrick's fault at all. This is like the media peoples and the YouTubers and like these social media influencers. This is their fault. Where Punch is right, which I think where he could be hitting on, is yes, in these stand bases, not the average fan, not the average person, but these stand bases, yes, you have to align on the same issues on certain topics. There can be a little deviation on certain things that don't matter. Like, oh, you like bananas, I like oranges. All right, cool. Certain things like politics, things that are viewed socially, like, oh, Morgan Wallen and things like this. Other artists, like if you're associated with TDE, like a Doechii or a Ray Vaughn, or even people who are in a proxy, in these groups, and y'all have seen this, you have to align with the group think. You have to align with it. Otherwise, you are ostracized. It's happened to me. Y'all remember the whole what's the dirt company man thing? I should simply choose to not take a side because I'm cool with both of them. you are ostracized. What Punch is saying, people are aligning on the same side in certain issues in these micro communities. Due to this alliance, you have these YouTubers like Curtis King, like Deleted, they're coming out talking crazy about me, saying things about me. And then when I ask them about it, they say, oh, we actually don't have an issue with you. I actually think they're telling the truth. I actually don't think they have an issue with me. It's just groupthink. Like, they are aligning with the popular group consensus. And if the group consensus is that any person who is not pro this person or super pro this person or not coming out speaking against this or that, if they are not doing that, that means they are anti-Kendrick. We hate them, right? So you have people who don't even have issues with me who are aligning with this and assuading the group thought, which manifests itself in them just saying crazy things about me, even though they don't actually have an issue. They're just falling victim to groupthink. But really, I don't even think they're falling victim. They're just making money off of y'all. I mean, I've seen this. So what Punch is saying is right. Yeah, there are, in these micro communities, there are people are aligning on the same stance on many issues. And it's not by coincidence, because you have people who don't even really have issues or have different thoughts, you know, about you or about topics, but they're still aligning themselves on the extreme side of things. And this is so you're not outcast from the group. Number one, you do it so you don't be outcast. So even if you feel like, yo, I actually don't feel a certain way about XYZ, or you don't really voice it as loud or as often because you don't want to be outcast. And two, by aligning yourself with the group thought, you just make money off of it. I mean, it's profitable. And again, Kendrick did not do this. Other people done this. Like, it's the YouTuber, it's like the media. I won't just say YouTubers, but this is where a lot of discourse happens. It's the media. Where Punch is correct is, yes, there are certain things where you have to fall in line. You know, like how they kept telling me, oh, get on code, you not on code. I think this is what Punch is talking about. On code means you need to change your opinion to match ours. And that's why I think for Punch, it seems like everyone is liking the same stuff. Like, it's like a social experiment. Now, I hope that Punch isn't just saying this to attack Drake fans, because now you're a part of the same divide that you're talking about. So I hope he's not just saying it to attack Drake fans, because it happens in Kendrick land too. But yeah, Punch, the reason why it seems like this is because in these very small communities, like these Stanbases, this isn't just the average person or the average person watching YouTube. It's specifically in these Stanbases, you know, where people are in group chats, they're in Discords, like these little micro communities. Yes, a lot of the times, if you, on certain topics, it's not every topic you got to fall in line on, but on certain topics, if you do not align with them, you will find yourself like being ostracized from them. They're going to ostracize you from the group. So that's why it seems like that. So anyway, y'all's favorite YouTuber, Akademiks, he had a couple words about this.
The divide in hip hop is insane. It's like two different ideologies. The battle may have been the catalyst, but I feel like it's been bubbling for a while. No matter what the topic is, you could tell clearly who falls on what side.
And I like how Punch worded that first part. The first part of that tweet, it's very directly worded. Yeah, the battle was the catalyst, but it's been bubbling, and I think that's true. And it's two different ideologies. That's perfect. I think the second part of it is the part that I kind of question a little bit, but I think I know what he's getting at.
Depending on which side is taken in the battle, the same group of people likes the same type of sports star, the same politicians, the same stance on whatever issues. It's like a social experiment, okay? And yeah, it says, now he says we need unity as hip hop, okay? I ain't gonna lie to you, man. These TDE niggas, like, I feel like they're either half stupid or they're just confused. They basically give us an ideology. They're not like us.
No, I like the fact that Punch is speaking up against it. You know, he's speaking up about it. Like, yo, the division has come too far. But like I said, I hope that Punch isn't just saying it referencing Drake's fans and the Drake side. As long as Punch realizes that it's the Kendrick side also, I think that's perfectly fine, because this exists on both sides. Like the toxic division, it exists on both sides. So as long as he's not just referencing this to Drake's side, like, oh, y'all dividing us too much, I think what he's saying is actually perfectly fine.
It's the biggest divisive song in history. The idea that other niggas ain't like your kind. They ain't like us. And then a year later, they're like, yo, why are there people not like us? Like, nigga, y'all been saying y'all don't, you know what I mean? I've been telling you this. The idea, this is why I'm telling you, this is why even like, again, you know, not to get back into it, but like even my conversation with Dave Free, I was just like, there's like a lack of self-awareness here, right? Punch, who loves the idea of the song Not Like Us, a year later saying, wait, why is there an other side? Why is hip-hop so divided? Nigga, you literally...
I don't think Punch is saying why, and this is important, I don't think he's saying why is hip-hop so divided. I think Punch is acknowledging that, yes, the battle caused hip-hop to be divided and it's gone too far. Now, if Punch was actually saying, why is hip-hop divided? Then I would be like, yeah, this guy is like tone deaf or something. Like, are you blind? Like, you can't see why? But that's not what he's saying. Punch is acknowledging that it's going too far.
Champion not like us. It's like when Dave Free said, yo, why is niggas doing the weird shit like mentioning people's families and, bruv, you called a man a pedophile and said he had a daughter.
Kind of Dave Free thing, I do kind of sympathize with Akademiks here based on what he's saying, because we've never even had Dave Free come out and confirm that this conversation was had. But yeah, the idea of Dave Free saying, yo, the people are getting involved that have no business being involved. There are women and, you know, children that are getting involved is going too far. That's a perfectly fine critique. But again, I've said this in the past, if you're still on the road performing diss records and doing like all the extras, then yes, it's going to keep escalating. Like, you are participating in this escalating, which is indirectly having people who are uninvolved get involved. It's like stirring the fan toxicity because you just won't stop performing diss records. Now, I think Kendrick should perform the diss records, but then don't come and ask, yo, why is it going so far? It's going too far. Like, oh, so-and-so, she don't even rap and she getting involved. Well, step one of this will be to stop dissing, right? Otherwise, this is going to continue.
These are things like it's kind of self-explanatory. Like, there's nothing that's like, ooh,
maybe I'm crazy.
These are pretty obvious, okay? Now, I'll partially give him a little bit of agreement where I do believe that there's other things that kind of like spurred it. I just think the battle was one of the major things, because I agree with him that, yo, Drake fans, they all like the same type of things outside of Drake. Like, their ideology on life.
I don't agree with that. That seems like a vast generalization. And even going as far as saying, yo, Drake fans' ideology on life is the same or similar. Like, what are we talking about?
Like, people who would support Drake, their ideology on life, the type of other rappers they like, the type of things they don't care about, and the type of things they do care about is kind of uniform. Like, they like all the same things. They like it.
I don't know about that, man. I mean, you got Drake, even just the country divide. You have Drake fans in Canada and you got Drake fans in the United States. That alone is going to give you two different like cultural looks and differences why people like Drake. And for instance, my girl, she loves Drake's early music, like So Far Gone, Thank Me Later. Well, she bumped that Drake all day, but she don't like his new stuff. You think a Drake fan who's like a 14-year-old boy who likes Her Loss and Dark Lane demo tapes or whatever, you think him and like a girl who likes the So Far Gone era Drake are going to have the same outlook on things? It's just, I don't understand these generalizations on the fan basis. Now, I could understand the generalization if we're talking about more niche underground artists. Then yeah, you could probably generalize a smaller group of people like that more accurately. But a large fan base like Drake or Kendrick, they're just way millions and millions of people to where you cannot generalize them like that.
And the Kendrick fans, these are the woke motherfuckers, bro. Like they're super woke. So like every woke thing in history, that's them.
See, I think in 2011, 2012, I think that would be a fair generalization. You know, no generalization is outright fair because there are always going to be outliers. But when you're dealing with a smaller fan base, like, yeah, 2011, 2012, when Kendrick was on that high power, third eye, you know, Ab-Soul type stuff. Yeah, calling us woke is a more accurate generalization as opposed to calling out a Kendrick in 2025 who can sell out stadiums to vastly different people. You just can't generalize us as woke in 2025.
What's that part? Not like us? What's that part go? Let me see. Not like.
Once upon a time, all of us was in chains.
Fans, I think about this part right here. Right here.
I bet he gonna quote that part.
Right here. Right here. Once upon a time, all of us was right? Once upon a time, all of us was in chains. Homie said double down on us like Atlanta was a mecca, railroads and trains. Bear with me for a second. Let me put y'all on game. The sellers was using what the fuck? We don't give a fuck about that. You know what I mean? But like the K-bots, that's like their life. Like
I think that's accurate because that was my favorite part of Not Like Us. That last verse where Kendrick really reverted back to doing Kendrick, you know, the historical. I was like, oh, he giving us knowledge. I do like that. You know, Atlanta was the record building railroads and trains. That's my favorite part.
That's them. The sellers were using tone flow to make them richer. Fast forward 2024, you got the same
agenda. Yeah, you know it.
To get a check, Dallas. Let me break it for you.
Yo, stop acting like you need to pull the lyrics up like you don't know this song word for word. Stop playing.
Real nigga challenge. So yeah, no, I agree with that. But you know, honestly,
Ak had to stop himself. He was really getting in the flow of it. He really loved that song.
And I'll say this to Punch. This ain't gonna change, right? The only time when hip hop unites is when, first of all, hip hop has always kind of been, it's just that these are huge artists. I mean, it was just as divisive right after Tupac and Biggie stuff, and people were thinking West and East. Now, granted,
yeah, it was more divisive. See, hip hop is only divided right now in the Stanbases. And we're gonna get right back to the video. We're gonna watch like maybe one more minute. But hip hop is, like, to the average person, when you go outside, hip hop ain't divided that bad off Kendrick and Drake no more. The only people who are still talking about this, oh, the culture, and all these talking points, bro, it's just people in like on social media. And trust me, I live in Southern California, right? There is no shortage of Drake music being played. Drake's music is still everywhere. I go to the gym, Drake's music's playing. I go on campus, Drake's music is playing. You sitting in traffic, somebody passed by playing Drake music. Even me, you think I'll stop playing the Drake songs that I like? You think I'm gonna stop playing 10 bands? You think I'm gonna stop playing, you know, certain Drake songs that I like? Show Me a Good Time. I still play the songs. You go in the store, Target, Walmart, they playing Drake, man. People still walking around with their OVO owls. People still walking around with their old Drake tour merch. And this is in the belly of the beast. This is like in the heart of California, Kendrick, California. So if it's like that here, imagine where it's like everywhere else. In Idaho, Virginia, West Virginia. Divide only exists amongst these temperamental Stanbases, which I have been speaking out since the very beginning. I never liked this. And I took bullets for this because I'm calling out the same Kendrick stans who I should be trying to invite to subscribe to my channel. Like, yo, I like Kendrick. Y'all crazy about Kendrick. Come subscribe. But I'm really losing subscribers calling this out. Like, I have no gain from this, but I just have to, I feel like a deep burning desire to speak my truth. So I done it. So yeah, but on the East and West tip, you talking about the 90s? No, hip hop was actually divided back then. Hip hop is not divided on this Kendrick and Drake stuff no more. Even now, athletes and other celebrities, rappers, they feel good coming out, talking and supporting Drake again. There's no divide anymore. It's only in these Stanbases.
It's not West and East because Drake from Toronto, but it's definitely a division among just hip hop and hip hop ideology. The only time hip hop is ever gonna come back together is when hip hop starts having fun again. Like, and that's the thing.
Well, in order for hip hop to come together, there has to be something to unite against, right? And it's the same issue we have in America. America's pretty divided right now. But the way to unite America is against the common enemy. Then you're going to get the, left and right, Republican, Democrat. Then you're going to get them on board with each other.
This is going to pass. But niggas is going to get back to let's have fun. And what happens is that everybody will want to have fun, right? Right now, both sides of this divide, there's like weirdos, right? Okay, let me just point out how you're like, okay, like everybody who likes Kendrick, according to them, everybody who likes Drake's a pedophile, right?
Yeah, and that's an issue. Again, this is what the Stanbase is. The average person is not thinking this, man. I'm just letting you know, live from California. Nobody actually think this in the real world. It's like us folks, us who are terminally online. I'm including myself in this. It's not an insult. But that's where it exists. This don't exist in the real world, man. Nobody even cares anymore like that.
Right? So like for them,
I'm just letting you know.
It's just like, yo, freaky addict. Like it's you just have to wait this out, bro. You wait this out. Eventually, people will be tired of this bullshit. Just like right now, we hit the tearing point. Like, not like us, it's finally gonna decline. Okay, like I think we saw the last run.
Yeah, right. He said not like us is gonna decline. Nah, Kendrick gonna drop the GNX Deluxe. Once Kendrick done with his tour, he's gonna drop the deluxe version of GNX, and he gonna throw Not Like Us on there. And guess what? Not Like Us is gonna shoot back up the charts, and GNX is gonna shoot back up the charts. that's what's gonna happen. Yo, act like, yo, I think it's finally over. It ain't over, buddy. But anyway, that's all I got for today. What do y'all think? Is hip hop still divided? Where you're at, is there still like this anti-Kendrick or anti-Drake fervor in the air? I'm telling you, in Southern California, maybe Northern California is different, but in SoCal, it's like it never happened. You know, Kendrick has a lot more fans now. You know, regarding Drake, it's like no one is actually sitting here talking about the culture and all this. Like, no one's doing that. So anyway, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Top5rapwebsite.com. Peace.